Hey guys, Sam here from Nathan and Sam's Fishing Show, and today I'm going to talk about bassing in the middle of summer. Alright, so in the Midwest, it's midsummer right now. The water temperatures can be like 95 degrees. Way too hot for fish to live. So you're going to find them go in two directions. They're either going to go deep and find ledges and points in offshore structure, or they're going to find their way under the weeds where there's a lot of shade and the water's going to be a lot cooler. First, I'm going to talk about ledge fishing and offshore fishing. That's a great way to go in the summer. It's really, really fun. You can go to a lot of big lakes, like Kentucky Lake is famous for fishing ledges midsummer, and my favorite bait to fish on ledges are deep diving crankbaits, at least to get the school activated. So, like, we have a Strike King 6XD here, dives to about 19 plus feet. This is a great crankbait. I use this on a lot of ledges. I also use the 5XD right there. And I really match the hatch with my crankbaits. It doesn't matter too much what color it is. Just match your crankbait depth and just mess around with crankbaits and see which one they prefer. Switch it after 20 minutes, put on a different one, different color. Each one will have a little bit different wobble until you find which crankbait they're hitting on. Another bait that I love to throw when bass are schooling offshore are big swim baits. I usually get the belly-weighted hooks. Depending on the size of the swim bait, this is a 6-inch swim bait. You get your hook. This is a 5/0 hook in 1/4 ounce weight. And these baits are really to get the bass activated. Once one bass hits a crankbait or a swim bait like this, the bass are going to start feeding. And depending on if they're on the bottom or suspending, my other favorite thing to throw is a football jig. I love to throw jigs anywhere I go. But this is a green pumpkin football jig, and that's just another great bait to hop along and pick up some of those bass that are close to the bottom. Another bottom bait that's similar to a jig that I'll fish is a Carolina rig. I don't fish them a ton, but when I do, I use the Lake Fork Trophy Lures. I use the Ring Fry. And this is just a great little bait to Carolina rig. And also, I throw a drop shot a bit when the bass are schooling. That's towards the end when I've caught a lot of the fish. And I'll just throw like a Strike King caffeine shad or any of those little drop shot baits on that. Okay, so now another thing I love to do in summer, other than going offshore, is fishing weeds. I actually do this a lot more than I do fish offshore. I don't know, I think it's just kind of where I'm located. There's not that good offshore fishing. A lot of the bass go up in the weeds in summer. So that's what I'm going to talk about next. Alright, so first I'm going to talk about fishing sparse weeds. Not really scum mats or lily pads, kind of. But one of my favorite things to do is throw like a swim jig. This is a Strike King swim jig in bluegill. Or a beaver, like a Texas rig beaver. This is a D-bomb by Missile Baits. Now, I probably throw a beaver most of the time when I'm in weeds, other than frogging. And, I don't know, this is just my favorite thing to do. Some of the upcoming videos that you'll see, me at a lake called Banner Marsh, where we flip and pitch a lot of D-bombs up into the weeds and stuff. So that's just one of my favorite things to do. I look for pockets in the weeds, and I just fish them around weeds, maybe even a little bit deeper water, where the weeds are right on the edge, and that's where you can catch a lot of bass. Another thing that I like to throw around weeds are swim baits. Swim baits work pretty good. I don't throw them all the time, but if I can find some lily pads, I will definitely throw a swim bait. Now, the biggest thing I love to throw in either scum or pads are frogs. Everybody loves frogs. It's exciting. You get to see the bass explode on top water. And this is my favorite frog. It's the Live Target frog. You can see this one's pretty beat up. I've been fishing it a lot. But I look for lily pads that are in pretty deep water. I don't like to fish in too shallow water when I'm fishing lily pads. And I just try and walk it the best I can through these pads, and that just works great. I love to frog. Don't do it all the time, but when I do, I have a blast. So that's mostly what I throw around weeds. I also do a bit of punching. I'll make a video later about punching, hopefully. And that's a fun thing to do. You can catch a lot of big fish on punching rigs. So I'll make a video on that later. But don't only do what I just said in this video. Also try other stuff. Docks are a great thing to fish in summer. There are fish on docks all year round. If you can find docks in deeper water, you're gonna catch a lot of fish. And sometimes when the fish aren't biting on what I'm trying to do, you'll always find me flipping and pitching a jig around wood somewhere. That's what I do a lot of the time. So just try it, figure out what you can do, and catch bass in the summer. So thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe for more content to come.